Now, if you've been following up geopolitics or what is happening in the world, by now you must know that Russia is hosting the 16th summit of the Brics summit that is going on. And one of the most interesting things that has come up from this hosting of this event is that Turkey wants to be a member of Brics. And you may wonder why that's a big deal. The big deal is that Turkey is a member of NATO, which is essentially an enemy of Russia. They've just welcomed the new member states to the BRICS summit. And it will be interesting to see if Turkey joins. And if indeed they do join, what happens between the relationship between Turkey and the West, Turkey and Europe, you know, all these Western nations and the relationship with NATO, like what are the pros and cons? So in September, Turkey applied to join the BRICS, and the application is under scrutiny at the moment. The BRICS membership started with a few nations. That was B for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, which actually South Africa was the last to join among those first nations, joined in 2010. And that's how the letter S was added at the end, because it used to be BRIC. Then with the incoming of South Africa, it became BRICS. So the platform was initiated in 2009 as an informal club to provide members with a conduit for challenging the world order dominated by the US and its Western allies. So basically it was just to come and bring up a system that could create, instead of having one superpower nation, just create a multipolar nations where different nations can, you know, host powers and stand alone without really having to look at the West as the, you know, the SI unit. So Russia and Turkey are big on tourism and gas, and in addition of Turkey to BRICS, this means an assurance of Russia's expanding economy, because these two exchange big on this, and Turkey is actually filled with a lot of gas that is from Russia. So the question would be, if indeed they join BRICS, I don't know how that would sit with the Western nations who are anti-Russia, because, I mean, the thing is, you can't have gas that says, gas won't have it written that it's from Russia, but imagine the whole idea of maybe, like, say, America sitting down comfortably knowing very well that Turkey is now a member of BRICS. That would be very interesting. And I'm sure these nations will actually come up with means of ensuring that this membership is either delayed or does not come to pass. Somehow, I trust the US. It's always good on doing such things, and I know with this one, they will find a way out, but we will wait and see if indeed Turkey will stand its ground. So Turkey's geolocation would actually be so great for Russia in terms of having them on board, because with their access to the Black Sea, it means now with Russia having Turkey as an ally, it means they can easily access the Black Sea. Having the Black Sea means they can easily, if agreed, they can have a naval base in Turkey or somewhere close, you know, like Crimea, where it's close to them. So they can easily have those bases without having to worry about their security. And also something that would be great would be that with having Turkey as your friend, it means they have a security buffer in between them and the perceived enemies that be, like after Turkey, who comes next? Or if, let's say, the US or any external parties were to attack Russia, at least there's a buffer in between them. And with that buffer and with them having, you know, access, it means that they cannot maybe attack, they would maybe have to attack Turkey before they get to Russia. But because these nations are friends, then it means Russia remains safe, or, well, for quite some time, they can hold their peace, knowing before they are reached, then there is a buffer zone between them. So basically, that's one of the key things that would be great for having Turkey join BRICS. So the West Europe basically wants access to many locations where they can attack Russia from. Hence, President Putin having Turkey in his circle would be a great addition to what he terms as security for his nation. Something else is that Putin may be hoping that with Turkey on board as a BRICS ally, he will be able to persuade Ankara or Turkey basically to give him more leeway in terms of access to different things. And currently, Russia's inability to control the Black Sea. The Black Sea is a major space where the movement of ships is key for both nations. And if Russia is able to access that, which if indeed Turkey becomes their ally, then they can have more access. And cargo ships, warships, whatever ships that are, can pass by, that would be a plus for them. So Turkey is a direct gate to the Black Sea, and this will allow more control for Russia and the territorial waters indirectly. It doesn't have to be them directly, but if indeed Turkey becomes their ally, then it means they can allow some of their ships to pass by, So also remember, Turkey has had conflict with Cyprus, and with Turkey now having Russia on board, it means they would feel safer and have a backup in terms of if something or war broke out between the two nations again, then Russia would possibly come through for them because they also come through for them in other ways. So Turkey's president, he has a very interesting name, Erdogan, said that on 1st September that this move shows that Ankara's aim is to cultivate ties with all sides simultaneously and to become a strong, prosperous, prestigious and effective country if it improves relationships with both the East and the West. So basically, this president wants to be on both sides. He wants to be with the West, and he wants to be with the East, which is basically the Brics nations. So he wants to be close to China. He wants to be close to Russia. He wants to be, it's very interesting that this nation wants to be in between. But the question is, do you actually believe America would allow for you to swing in? Like it's a pendulum, and they're just waiting for you to see where you settle. I highly doubt they would allow that. So I'm sure US will come up with means to ensure they stifle this process. And it's interesting to see. Let's just see how the two presidents, that's the president of Russia and the president of Turkey, when they meet up in this conference, how that's going to pan out. And if indeed he gives them the leeway or any communication on the progress of that movement. So South Africa is has been the only African nation that's a member of Brics, but today Ethiopia has been onboarded among other nations. So it's official now, even Ethiopia is part of Brics, and that's growth. And actually it's very interesting for Ethiopia to also onboard, because this story of Turkey wanting control and America wanting control is quite big in Africa. And if you didn't know, you know that now you need to know that America has actually a naval base in Lamu in Kenya. And there's war that's coming between the Horn of African nations because everyone wants control of that region. And the control is basically not to control Kenya or even to control Ethiopia. It's access to the Red Sea. So once you're able to access the seaway, it's easy to attack the different nations or perceived enemies from whichever corner. So that's why those things are there. So Turkey's formal application for membership in Brics of emerging economies has confirmed the speculation that they want to sort of detach themselves from the West. With this detachment, it means countries will be watching to see how this happens. And this speculation actually comes after the Kremlin in June welcomed Turkey's interest in the work of Brics and promised to support Ankara's aspirations to join it. Ankara's move marks the first time a member of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, that is NATO, and a candidate to join the European Union has applied to join a group dominated by Russia and China. So NATO is a political and military alliance of 32 countries, which was created by the US for collective security against former Soviet Union. And basically here is just to say against Russia. And the body also serves as a medium for member state consultation, cooperation, and dispute resolution management. So analysts say Turkey's impatience over stalled negotiations to join the EU, because Turkey has been pushing to join EU and actually since 2005, this is quite a number of years. There are still delays, and the delays have raised concerns that this could be the reason as to why Turkey wants to join Brics, because they feel then they're left out in the EU. So the shift from a unipolar world to the idea of a multipolar world is what is leading Turkey to join these nations and these Brics nations. And the world is watching to see how that ends up. It is evident that Turkey aims to maintain its connections with the West while also desiring the flexibility to engage with other regions. And it's highly improbable that this would lead to a significant overhaul of Turkey's ties with Western countries. Okay, it's something else is that it may, however, cause concern among fellow NATO members about how to, move together as rely on Turkey as their member, because if Turkey joins BRICS and the West are an enemy of Russia, then how does that go? So that relationship will be a bit messy, sort of. Not super messy in terms of fight, but there'll be a lot of question among member states trusting them. So I don't know how that will go. And remember, in 2020, the Trump administration had actually slapped sanctions on Turkey for a $2.5 billion acquisition of the Russian S-400 missile system, which is said to pose a risk to the NATO alliance and to US F-35 fighter jets. So with such things already happening on the background and having been sanctioned before, Turkey, I'm sure at this point they're like, whatever happens, happens. We have to stand up as a nation. And despite the Russian missile deal, Turkey still has a clear differences with the BRICS members. And this has been seen in Turkey supporting Ukraine in the war, sort of. So with all these developments, it's a bit unclear to know where Turkey stands from both a Russian perspective and from the West. But we will keep an eye on this and see what happens. And hopefully, by the end of this by the end of this BRICS summit, we may have an idea. If not, we can only sit back and watch and see how that goes. You can actually share your comments, your feelings and comments with us in the comment section. And let's just try and analyze this whole relationship between NATO, BRICS, Russia, US, the West, basically European Union and everything around it. So share with us what you think and let's engage and keep going. And thanks for watching this video to the end. We'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.